What up, y'all?
Welcome back. What's going on? And welcome to another episode of
Don't Do That.
Don't Do That.
Right here on 16 TV.
On
Epic Fridays. Why not, right? Screw it. Let's get into it. So, start us off. Web Weavers.
Web Weaver.
That is the smoke of the app.
Thwip, thwip.
And it is watermelon Skittles. It is indica dominant.
Okay,
Indica dominant.
Indica or sativa. You guys asked. Now we tell you.
Yep, I looked it up this time. I was like, let me make sure I got it right.
Look at her doing her due diligence. Go Pots.
Okay. Anyways, okay.
All right, so today is Epic Friday, and we're going to talk about just a couple things. It's not going to be a real long episode. We just want to touch base with y'all on Epic Friday because, Friday is the day a lot of people might not have to work the weekend. We do.
We do.
So, we want to get this to y'all before we go.
So, all right. So, as we all know, the bombing in Iran. I mean, the bomb. Yeah.
More on Donnie $2.
Yeah, in the Middle East,
Donnie
we'll say Donnie Taco, Donnie $2, Mr. Chicken Out. First president to cuss on air, I think. Probably
first president in the history of presidents that I've seen swear on national television.
Like as if he actually tried to do something.
As if he could have did anything else to screw up his name.
Right, exactly.
With the country.
Israel does what they want to do. They don't do, exactly. So, all right, nearly 130 House Democrats on Tuesday afternoon had voted to table articles of impeachment introduced against President Donald Trump over his administration's weekend bombing of Iranian nuclear facilities.
But why? Why did y'all stop that man from being impeached when he clearly committed an impeachable act?
The Democratic Representative Al Green of Texas introduced the articles over what he views as illegal and unconstitutional military strikes against Iran. U.S. planes on Saturday struck 3 Iranian nuclear sites, Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan. Amid the war. All right. Now, critics have raised questions about the legality of the air assault, which was not approved by Congress.
Bingo. Impeached.
Now, this article was written by Andrew Stanton. Now, I have a full list of our Democrats because it was a 344 to 79 votes.
That's a damn shame. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself.
Of 128 Democrats.
Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
So, we have... Now, mind you, I want you guys to keep an eye on the ones that say California.
What did he have on y'all?
So, we have Pete Aguilar, California. Gabe Amo, Rhode Island. Jake Auchincloss, whatever, from Massachusetts. Wesley Bell, Missouri. Amy Barra, California. Don Bayer, Virginia. Sanford Bishop, Georgia. Julia Brownlee, California. Janelle Bynum, Oregon. Salud Carvajal, California. Andre Carson, Indiana. Ed Case, Hawaii. Sean Caston, Illinois. Kathy Castor, Florida. Sheila Sherfilis McCormick, Florida. Catherine Clark, Massachusetts. Emmanuel Cleaver, Missouri. Jim Clyburn, South Carolina. Herb Conaway, New Jersey. Lou Correa, California. Jim Costa, California. Joe Courtney, Connecticut. Angie Craig, Minnesota. Jason Crow, Colorado. Henry Kuehler, Texas. Sharice Davids, Kansas. Don Davis, North Carolina.
Where's my baby powder? Where's my baby powder so I can slap the shit out of
Madeline Dean, Pennsylvania. Rosa Delarue, Connecticut. Susan Delabine, Washington. Chris Deluzio, Pennsylvania. Debbie Dingle, Michigan.
Dingle.
Yes, Dingleberry. Sarah Alfreth, Maryland. Cleo Fields, Louisiana. Shamari Figures, Alabama.
Y'all let us down.
Lizzie Fletcher, Texas. Bill Foster, Illinois. Lois Franklin, Florida. Frankel.
Are these all the ones that
Laura
that voted
Gillen,
against it?
New York. Jared Golden, Maine. Dan Goldman, New York. Vicente Gonzalez, Texas. Maggie Goodlander, New Hampshire. Josh Gothmeyer, New Jersey. Adam Gray, California. Josh Harder, California. Jim Himes, Connecticut. Stephen Horsford, Nevada. Chrissy Hallahan, Pennsylvania. Steny Hoyer, Maryland. Val Hoyle, Oregon.
Didn't you say it was like 300 people that voted against it?
No. Hakeem Jeffries, New York. Julie Capter, Ohio. Bill Keating, Massachusetts. Timothy Kennedy, New York. Rocana, California. Greg Landsman, Ohio. Rick Larson, Washington. John Larson, Connecticut. George Latimer, New York. Susie Lee, Nevada. Mike Levin, California. Sam Liccardo, California. Ted Louis, California.
What are all the Californians?
Zoe, I'll tell you. Zoe Lofgren, California. Stephen Lynch, Massachusetts. Seth Magaziner, Rhode Island. John Mannion, New York. Lucy McBath, Georgia. Sarah McBride, Delaware. April McLean Delaney, Maryland. Jennifer McClellan, Virginia. Betty McCollum, Minnesota. Christy McDonald Rivet, Michigan. Morgan McGarvey, Kentucky. Gregory Meeks, New York. Grace Ming, New York. Kwesi Mifune, Maryland. Joel Morale, New York. Kelly Morrison, Minnesota. Jared Moskowitz, Florida. Seth Moulton, Massachusetts. Frank McMurvan, Indiana. Anyways, I could go on. There was still a few more.
Say, there was too many fucking
That was
names.
only 78.
Well, we shouldn't even did that many because they just all should be ashamed of themselves. Seriously.
After what happened in California,
there's a lot of names that need to be kicked in their ass.
All these people, if I'm not mistaken, are coming up to be revoted for. Now, I suggest, especially you in California, after what just happened with ICE in California, the Democrats turn their backs on us. It's about that money.
It's about that money. About being comfortable.
You guys are way too comfortable.
And like I said, too, with a lot of these politicians, man, they were talking trash about somebody that is 33 years old. He's one of the youngest people. That's what we need. New blood. All these old people who are too old to get with the LGBT. They too old to deal with that. They're old school in the brain. They are not going to deal with the LGBTQ. They are not going to be equal with black and brown people. They're not. They have been raised up their entire life to be one way. And now there are politicians. We got a 70-year-old man, racist as hell, in the White House, running the country. What do you think was going to happen? How do you think that man grew up? His dad was friends with a grand dragon. Hello? Idiots.
Every last one of you.
And you
300 and
right there, layup. Right there.
Exactly. All
you passed the ball.
Right there. Because that would have impeachment right there.
Would have been over with. Then you know what we would have had to deal with? J.D. Vance. Unfortunately.
Impeached his ass too.
I mean, can we just throw away the whole White House and get Kamala? And can we talk to Barack? Please.
Hell, I'm willing to talk to Biden right now.
I'm not going to even lie about that. I'm not even willing to talk to Biden, but I would like to see Obama come. I would like to see Barack come back. I think that, do you know what would be awesome for me? And let's hear all the right wingers hop down. I got something for y'all later on in this episode too. But let's hear all the right wingers hop down in the comments on this one. Let's get Kamala for vice president and Barack back for president and have two black people running the country, a black man and a black woman. And let's see where we go.
Progress.
Let's see where we go. Progress. Not being laughed at by the rest of the world of who our leader is. Mm-hmm. They are roasting us. Roasting JD Vance. Pictures of babies, young men getting detained in airports because they have pictures on their phone of JD Vance as a baby.
I'm not gonna lie, it was really hilarious.
Some of the pictures were funny as hell, but I'm just saying, you that worried about that, and you a politician. You're supposed to be helping run the country, bro. You're not even supposed to be worried about that.
You're supposed to be having thick skin, bro.
You need to. You helping run the country, right?
That's the reason why It's Not Real is able to be able to walk all over us, because not a damn one of them have the balls or any of the cojones or anything like that to be able to do anything, go over there and slap them up a little bit.
No.
Now, I get tired of
problem.
Seeing people be all happy and proud of killing kids while we're over here. What do you expect them to do? You think they wouldn't join Hamas after you just got done blowing their entire family up? The only people that are over there trying to protect them are them.
Man.
So who's really the bad people? We are doing nothing but pushing all of them to that area anyways.
And so now
we're going to be really screwed, because now we will, I promise you. Don't ever think if you don't think in the next 2 to 4 years that there's going to be some sort of war. Something's going to happen.
It's going down.
And you cannot sit there and tell me otherwise, because nobody's stupid.
I want you to imagine somebody bigger and stronger than you walking up to you. You working out. You've been working out, getting your nuclear stuff together. You've been working out. You're getting stronger. But this dude just walks up to you and just smacks you hard as fuck in the back of your head. Right? What you gonna do? You gonna keep working out?
See how that works? See how that works?
You gonna keep working out, and eventually you gonna hit back. Right? You're not gonna just let it keep going on. That's not what they do.
See?
They bide their time, and then see, illustrations, just illustrations, just illustrations. Because Hegseth said that they, it was successful and they didn't destroy everything and everything's gone. But
are you sure about that?
There are a lot of people that aren't as convinced.
Yeah.
So to all these right wingers out here, now we talked a little bit about y'all. The politics, and
oh God, yes, that's
talked a little bit
bullshit
about the food is in the Oval Office, and the clown with the orange skin, Donnie Taco himself. Y'all voted him in there. He's y'all king. I didn't vote for him, but as I've said many times on this show, because Donnie Two Dolls is in office, because Donnie Taco is running the country, a lot of these cowardly white boys and cowardly white girls out here being Karens and Kevins.
Yeah, the balls dropping over here. They done hit puberty, apparently.
That cup of courage must be on discount. That cup of courage is on discount. Because stuff that they would never say in front of a black person. Oh my God. Let them get it. Let them get in the group chat on YouTube. Woo! Boy, bravery. Like they Geralt with a sword in The Witcher Season 1.
What was it? The massacre?
Oh, the butcher. The butcher of Blabakan. That's who you are when you get with 9 other white boys on a YouTube podcast. Now, to give you a little background into what I'm talking about, Ironheart dropped. Dominique Thorne, reprises the role
Right
that
there,
you
baby.
saw
Did a good job.
That you saw in Wakanda Forever. Of course, Wakanda Forever is the blockbuster film where
they rocked their shit out.
R.I.P. T'Challa, R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman passed away. Ryan Coogler and company, everyone that starred with this man was very emotionally distraught. Still came through and brought us a banger of a film. Introduced Namor, introduced Ironheart, okay? Who, by the way, is actually in the comics, and they didn't just make up so they could have DEI hires.
This shows who's actually reads the comics.
Okay, so Ryan Coogler executive produced, and of course, they waited 2.5 years to drop this because I actually really don't know. It's Disney. They got money. I don't think they paused on it because they thought it was a bad series. I think they paused on it because they were doing so much at one point. They were dropping so much back to back to back to back. And people were just like, hey, you doing too much. This ain't even really all that good. So they slowed down. Slowed down. So now 2.5 years later, something they already have finished, Ironheart drops. First 3, because they know we've been waiting for 2.5 years, right? First 3 episodes dropped. I watched those first 3 episodes. Anthony Ramos from Hamilton. Anthony Ramos from She's Gotta Have It. Anthony Ramos from one of the Transformers films. He's in it as the Hood. I've got the action figure to the Hood. I know about the Hood as a comic book character. It's not really my thing. But Anthony Ramos is making this guy interesting. Dominique Thorne does her thing as Ironheart. Ryan Coogler, of course, like I said, he's executive producer. You can tell that he had a little seasoning in the pot. But if you like Marvel, if you like the MCU, you're gonna fall in because you're gonna be like, okay, this is the world that I'm used to living in. Me, right? So of course, I like the 3 episodes. I know I got 3 more episodes coming next week. They're gonna tie it up, finish it up, do whatever they do. Cons. That was the pros. The cons of the series. I'm not really feeling the Natalie AI. The reason I'm not feeling the Natalie AI is not because of the actress's portrayal. It's not because of her acting chops. She's doing a great job. This is a missed opportunity by the people who do the special effects. At the end of Endgame, Tony Stark said, I love you 3000, and gave one of those speeches that had everybody in the theater. If you love Tony Stark and you followed that journey from 2008 up until Endgame, he had a hologram of Tony, right? Didn't look like Tony. They CGI'd it to make it look like a hologram, right? Same thing they should have did with Natalie. She's way more a corporeal person than she is an AI hologram. That's where they messed up, in my opinion. Now, that's how you do a review of 3 episodes of something when you still got 3 episodes waiting. That's what you do. You give the pros, the cons.
Right.
But people like Shad M. Brooks, Nerdrotic, D-Day Cobra, AZ, Ian K. from At Comics Division, Rags Disparu, Ryan Kennel from RK Outpost, 1/4 or 1/4 Black Garrett, and OMB Reviews. These are content creators on this platform. 10 of them. 10 of them who got together and thought that it would be a good idea to spew racist comments and just joke around and make all kinds of inappropriate racist jokes in their group podcast as they're talking about the first 3 episodes or watching along the first 3 episodes of Ironheart. Here's some of the things they said. Okay. Are they going to play black music so that I know that a black person is starring in it?
Mm.
I don't know a black person is starring in anything until I hear hip hop. They called her AI Joanna Man,
Sharkeisha,
Shanae. Then they called this was the one that I thought was really inappropriate, which is why I'll say it's my least favorite. They said, "What about Joanna Father?" Because in the series and in the comics, her stepdad died in a drive-by shooting. So their mature response was to say that her AI wouldn't be called Jarvis, it would be called Joanna Father. Yeah. Okay. Then I go to Nerdrotics page because I want to do my due diligence. I want to study. I want to see what these guys are about. And I go to his review of Ironheart because that's what I'm on, right? And he's like, yeah, this is the Ironheart, and it's another failure where we're going to be woke, and, just like Captain African American didn't work. So now my suspicions are completely confirmed that these are some man-children, man-child in my own man cave with a whole bunch of action figures.
No, they're man bitches.
He said, we can't even call, I don't know, just snot-nosed little cowards who would never say anything like that if they were in a room with, say, me and my people. If they were in a room with me and, like, say, Ichiban Sai, the Masked Man, or Hope Don King, or Mad Dog McGraw. Y'all use y'all discourse names, so we're using our discourse name. 16, the Icon, because then you would hear hip hop and you would know that a black person was starring in going upside your head for being stupid and talking outside of your neck.
Mm-hmm.
You would know that a black person was involved because you would hear hip hop as your head hit the concrete for talking dumb, being brave online, knowing you would never talk stupid like that if you were in the presence of someone black. Twitter fingers. So here's what also they said: Disney, Marvel, and Lucasfilms, they got DEI hires. So we had an issue with, remember way back with Finn?
Oh, Lord, yep.
Star Wars?
Yep.
Force Awakens. Put a lightsaber in the black man's hand. Oh my God. Everybody lost their mind. So we can't even have make-believe? We can't even have make-believe? So you're trying to tell me that it is out of the realm of possibility for Riri Williams to exist, for a young black woman to be genius enough to make something iconic as an Iron Man suit? I don't think it's that far-fetched. Because, let me see, Thomas Jennings in 1821, you got dry cleaning because that man made it up. He created it. Garrett Morgan created the traffic light so you don't run into people when you're driving around. He also created the gas mask so when people go to Iran without, the approval of Congress, and they go into situations where there's, gas, they don't suffocate and die. And Dr. Charles Drew He's the person that learned how to, store blood and separate plasma from the blood, so that when people are sent overseas by dumbasses like Donnie Two Dials and they get hurt and they need blood transfusions, a black man was the one that created that. So when y'all say, "Oh, it's woke, but it's out of the realm of possibility," are you stupid? Do you not know? Oh, that's right. Your president's burning all the books, so you don't know anything about anything. He's burning all the history. That's why Captain America being black sounds so out of the realm of possibility, because y'all forgot about Red Tails. Y'all forgot about that, right? I'm just saying.
All right, guys. The last of the last thing we got to talk about. Daniel T. Prude. Okay, September 20th, 1978 to March 30th, 2020. Now, he arrived in Rochester, New York from Chicago on March 22nd to visit his older brother, Joe Prude. Daniel acted erratically upon his arrival, jumping headfirst down a flight of stairs. His brother dialed emergency services for help. Daniel received a mental health evaluation at Strong Memorial Hospital and was released that night. Within several hours, Daniel resumed his erratic behavior and fled his brother's house around 3 a.m. His brother called emergency services again for assistance. Prude shed his long underwear, tank top, and socks while on the street. A passerby recorded a Facebook Live video of Prude after he begged someone to call emergency services. But Prude ran away when the person called. At 3:16 a.m., multiple officers and 2 emergency medical technicians arrived at Prude's location in southwest Rochester, where he was walking naked and bleeding. One officer exited his car and approached Prude, pointing a taser at him while asking him 6 times to get on the ground. Prude complied and was then asked why the officer to put his hands behind his back, to which he also complied. During the arrest, he said "yes, sir" several times to the officer while handcuffed and on the ground. Prude repeatedly said, "In Jesus Christ I pray, amen," amongst various other comments. Around 3:19, Prude became agitated, spitting at officers and yelling, "Give me that gun," until one officer placed a spit hood over Prude's head. Prude demanded that they remove it. 1 minute later, Prude unsuccessfully attempted to stand up before being repeatedly pushed over by officers who forcibly held him down for approximately 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Officer Mark Vaughn used his body weight and both hands to press the side of Prude's head to the pavement. Vaughn's report called this a hypoglossal nerve technique, which, according to USA Today, involves jamming fingers into a nerve below the jaw to cause pain and persuade a subject to comply. Officer Troy Talladay applied his knee to Prude's back. Another officer held Prude's legs, and the start of the hold, Prude said, "You're trying to kill me." The officers noticed liquid coming from Prude's mouth as he stopped speaking and moving. As Vaughn released his hold and said, "You good now?" Prude did not respond. Vaughn then pushed his head with one hand for 45 seconds while the attending officers chatted. 3 minutes and 10 seconds after the restraint began, one police officer remarked that he had been vomiting during the restraint, and his chest compressions appeared to have stopped. The Associated Press reported that police leaders pressed Rochester to keep the video of Prude's death secret, feeling a violent blowback if the video came out during the nationwide George Floyd protests. An emergency medical technician asked the officers to turn Prude on his back, acknowledging that Prude was unresponsive. He instructed an officer to apply CPR who did so. At 3:27 a.m., Prude was placed into an ambulance while in transport to Strong Memorial Hospital. His heartbeat resumed, but he remained incapacitated from lack of oxygen and was later declared brain dead. He was taken off life support a week after the arrest. The medical examiner's autopsy report ruled Prude's death a homicide as a result of complications of asphyxia in the setting of physical restraint. The report found contributing factors including excited delirium and acute intoxication by PCP. The report did not mention prior mental health issues or explain the link between the toxicology test and his behavior. Prude's sister claimed Prude smoked a PCP-laced joint at a party prior to his erratic behavior. She sent him to visit their brother when he began acting erratically. These officers got off.
Of course they did.
Not a single one of them had charges against them when it came to any of that.
They folded him up like a lawn chair until he died.
The fact that when you go to a mental health hospital, they drop you. They give you a piss test. So you couldn't tell me that he had some sort of drug in him, PCP, and you let him go. And the fact that this man lost his life due to this and these officers get to live theirs is disturbing in all accounts. And to continue to have to talk about this every day until the point gets across is disturbing to me. So that's all we have for you today, you guys. Sorry it took a little longer than what was expected.
Yeah, this was a long show, and I said it was going to be a short show. So, bad 16.
It's not my fault this time, you guys.
Bad 16. I wanted to expose those guys.
No,
man,
it needed to be exposed because people
these
need
guys
to.
are on here, and this is the thing. They got huge followings, man. Like this one dude was the RK Outpost, the OMB Reviews, Nerdrotic, and Ian K from Comics Division. Bro, these cats got following, and this is what they doing with their celebrity.
And this is what it's okay.
It's okay to be racist and be inappropriate, and in 2025 still be a clown, knowing how the world is right now. It's fine because you're in your mama's basement and you running your YouTube. It's fine.
So don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, get notified. We'll see you next time on Don't Do That on Mad as Hell Monday. Peace.